Yeah, like we kind of dialed down on something newer. But if we're talking about Empire Strikes Back, and we're talking about like Darth Vader's Luke Skywalker's father,
You're
like
fucking kidding
hello,
me. What?
like yeah, no, exactly.
I'm out.
Yeah,
See you guys.
exactly.
I got a movie to watch.
Yeah.
Alright, we're back for another episode of Crosstalk. I'm Tim,
I'm Chris.
and today we're talking about loss of innocence. Now, guys, I remember that we said we were going to go in and talk about themes that transcend genre in a little bit more detail. Well, here's our first episode to talk about that specifically.
That's right.
As you can see, we have a guest speaker.
Hello.
This is Mike. He is going to give us a really good insight into a loss of innocent film. So, I think this will be a really good episode.
I agree.
Especially because, just so you guys know, we've actually decided we're going to really focus in on specific things, and it's going to give us all a chance to really get excited about something. I'm just really excited about my movie. We're going to talk
I think we all are, so that's good. That's great.
So we're going to talk about a specific movie each, and then we're going to just kind of summarize it from there, and then I hope it'll give you a little bit more insight into loss of innocence as a concept.
Yeah.
So Chris,
Yes, Tim.
I want you to tell me about one of your favorite movies that describes the theme of loss of innocence.
Loss of Innocence. Well, it actually is a film that I watched very recently. It's a foreign language film, Spanish. It's called Juliette. Sort of a shameless plug for a local theater. The Metro showed it recently. I actually commented on it and said that it was a great film, and they totally liked my comment. So, yay!
That's awesome.
I feel like it's a loss of innocent film in a number of ways. I can relate to it from a depression perspective because the lead character goes through a very transformative journey that deals with depression in a very real way. And in terms of loss of innocence, even the film starts off with, I'll spoil a little bit, but it's the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yeah.
She's on a she's very young. She's kind of on a train. You don't really know what her story is, but I think she's maybe moving away. You maybe think she's moving away from home for the first time or something like that. Yeah. This guy gets off the tracks, and apparently he has this conversation with her inside the train in the seat, and then he gets off the train, he steps on the track, kills himself.
Oh wow!
So she just has this big thing right at the beginning, right? So it's setting you up for this big emotional journey. So she meets a man on the train, a guy that I don't even know if they even introduce themselves, but if they do, it's a very quick conversation. They end up sleeping together. She ends up pregnant. She at some point on a whim decides to go and travel to the town that he lives in and go there, and then he's got this other complex relationship with this other woman. It's an amazing little film, and as they go through, they do it from the mother's point of view, but then they go back to the daughter she grows up to and how she's had to deal with with everything that goes on. Because partway through the movie, her husband, after they have a fight, and he's a fisherman, because they're in Spain, Basque fisherman, so he goes out on a stormy day because they have a fight. He dies.
Right.
So that's where the movie completely goes off on a tangent of her. She goes into a deep depression, and then her daughter basically has to take care of her. So they do it in a present, and it goes back in as her is a certain age, and it goes back in time to the different stages of her life, and they have her daughter come in and around it, and they focus on how it affects her, but then you find out that the daughter has left her, and they just go into all this. So there's all these moments in between where, the guy kills himself, loss of innocence. Like, she loses her husband, loss of innocence. She has a child to take care of. That child, as that child grows up, she finds her father's dead. Her loss of innocence.
There's a sequence of events that are all equally poignant, meaningful, tragic or epic or whatever you want to call them, very specific instances of themes that happen. Exactly. And the very interesting thing about it is how they all deal with it differently. Yeah. So it all affects them differently. Yeah. They all deal with it differently. And it's an amazing little Spanish film. Yeah. Check it out if you ever do get the chance, because it is really good. Absolutely. And would you say, in terms of the themes that it touches upon, this is a drama, right? Like it's 100% drama.
Yeah.
Would you say that within the themes that we've talked about previously, like dramas are usually the example that we go right towards when it comes to
loss of innocence, for sure.
Like, or maybe maybe you might see it in children's films to an extent, but you know, there's no such category as children's film other than, like, at least in the genres of films. It's like, you know, you'll have family, I guess, is the closest thing to it.
Probably.
But this film is 100% drama and nothing else, right?
Yeah, and it's a longer film, and I would almost say it's not going to be for everybody. And if you're looking for a feel good story that you want to have a good time with, probably don't watch it.
Yeah.
If you're looking for a very interesting drama that deals with depression and loss of innocence in a really interesting way, you know, I think that's a good thing. It's a good film to check out, and I highly recommend it. I love foreign films.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as the viewers probably know.
And, you know, that's another thing that's interesting too. You mentioned it's a foreign film, and I think that foreign films typically are basically just dramas, but we're labeling them as like
foreign films. Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So
it's a good point. It's a great point. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think that's a good lead-in from Mike, and you have something in particular you want to talk about as well, right?
Yeah. To kind of follow on Chris's like foreign film, I kind of selected one called, it's a Korean revenge movie called I Saw the Devil.
Okay.
And I can't remember, like, for the life of me, I can't remember the names of like the director or the stars or anything like that. But to kind of give you the skinny on what it's about, it's a revenge thriller where this guy who works for like the Korean secret police essentially, but he's a very family centric oriented guy.
Yeah.
And his wife just gets absolutely brutalized by this serial killer in like that works in like the rural towns and whatnot.
Yeah, for sure.
So, like, it's a hard movie to watch. I'm just gonna lay this out here right now. If you're sensitive to gore, like, this movie is just not. It's not gonna be a good time for you. But as the story goes on, when he finds out that his wife dies in like the most brutal way, he just snaps. Like, takes time off, and then goes on a hunt for for the serial killer. Now here's the thing, like, it's
kind of like Taken.
Yes, but not as like exploitive or cheesy as Taken was.
Sorry.
And I was gonna say, like, a lot of those films, I don't say like just Korean, but like a lot of maybe from like Asia. You got like Ishii Killer or like Battle Royale, like very gory, right? Yep. So
but there's still substance to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the amazing thing that I Saw the Devil really brings, like, in that movie, is that yes, it's a revenge film. This guy goes out, but you see his his whole entire character arc, from like down to earth like dad in the beginning to like an absolute monster at the end. Like, spoiler alert for if you guys plan on watching it and later on. Like, and I highly recommend you do.
I think about falling down now. It's another example. Sorry, I just keep.
Probably a lot more hyper violent, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, no, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
Like, you see people take a hammer to the face multiple times.
Wow.
But yeah, there was multiple points in the story where the main character, he runs into like other serial killers, and they're going like, holy crap.
Yeah.
You're just as messed up as us, because the way he tries to extract information, just toys with the people that toys with the guy he's trying to find.
Yeah.
You just go like, yo, like, I think you're taking this a little too far, and then you see everybody around him, like his sister-in-law, his boss is just going, "Are you okay? Is there something you need to talk about?" And he's like, "No, I'm absolutely fine." And then when he meets this family, like this group of serial killers, they're just going, "Hey man, like, I don't know if you know this, but you're just as messed up." And he's like, "No, you're the monsters. I'm just doing what's right." And then
perception is reality.
You know, exactly. And then at the end, like, he finally gets the guy and just messes him up in the worst possible way. When I watched it, my jaw dropped because I didn't know what to expect. I'm like, oh my god! And I don't want to ruin it for you, but damn. He went out in a bang, but at the end you see him just walk away, and then he's just bursting out in tears, because at that point, and the director, whoever shot this, did a brilliant job. It's like, because the entire way the camera's just following him, and then at a certain point, the character just breaks down because he realizes what he's become.
Yeah.
And then the camera just keeps walking as he's like on the middle of the road, just breaking down, and that kind of symbolizes. Yeah, no, it's like you're just walking. The camera's like walking backwards essentially. So you're walking like as an audience member, you're just imagine yourself walking backwards with him. Gotcha. But then as soon as he stops, you just keep going, and it's that point where it kind of symbolizes that this is the point where you as an audience member, you just can't follow him at this point. You were with him for this whole entire journey, but you experience this breaking point where it's like you're not who you used to be, and it's just so insane.
Sounds very dramatic.
It does.
Oh, it is. It is. Again, the Koreans are amazing at revenge films. I don't know if you've seen like Old Boy.
Yeah, well, I was thinking of Old Boy when you started talking about the hammer.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Yeah.
It's
and the ending of that too is quite.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. So I think it probably speaks. It sounds like I think it probably speaks to a darkness that maybe everybody kind of has inside them, and it just takes a certain trigger to bring it out. Kind of. So.
And I think that movie does a great job of showing that, but to like the most extreme. Like, definitely highly recommend it. Not one for the kids at all.
No. What's that? Don't watch it, my 5-year-old girl? No. Traumatize her?
A little bit. I'm still...
or like awaken something that you don't want.
Oh, no,
like, you're like, it's like when you watch... when we were kids, we would watch like horror movies.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that like that was good for us.
No, probably not.
You mean to tell me like teen slashers were not a good way to raise your kids?
No.
Okay. Well.
Too late. That ship has sailed.
Yep.
Yeah, it's too late now, so we're far gone. That sounds like an amazing movie. I'm gonna have to check that out.
Oh no, it's good. It's very good.
For the viewers, what was it called again?
It was called I Saw the Devil.
There you go.
Yeah. Awesome.
All right, great.
It's very good.
That's good, Mike. Thank you. Okay, guys. So I've been waiting for the past 15 minutes to talk about my movie.
Tim seems super excited.
I'm like this is rare for me. Very rare for me to get really excited about something.
Okay, great.
I'm so excited about this movie because I've wanted to watch it since I heard about it, which was, believe it or not, when I first started reviewing films in October of 2015. I think in the fall of 2015 is when I knew about this movie, and then I knew it was coming out, and I didn't buy it at the time. Bought something else. I think I bought like fucking Aloha or some garbage movie.
Bullshit. Oh, terrible.
I think that was around the time that I bought Aloha. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, gross.
I've evolved since those movie reviewing days. It's called Dope. This movie, okay. Before I talk about the movie, I'm going to tell you how the movie opens. The movie opens with the definition of the word dope. So there's 3 definitions of the word dope. The first being a slang term for marijuana.
Okay.
Yep. Second definition is someone who is stupid or makes a stupid decision.
Okay.
Third one, also slang. Something which is incredibly cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
This movie, believe it or not, is about all 3 of those things.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
And it's an amazing film because it uses all 3 of those words. This kid goes from being a kid to being an adult as a consequence of one of those 3 things. I'll just tell you what it is.
Okay.
All right.
Spoiler.
So spoilers. It's about this kid who is living in current day. I think it's East LA, and I apologize to you at home who've seen it and know that I'm wrong. But I think it opens in East LA because it's like in hip hop culture. So I think that's probably likely where it is. But he's friends with these 2 other kids that are nerds who are doing very well in school. Also, I should preface it, the main character is black. So like it's kind of like putting that trope on its side, which is saying like, kids who grow up in these downtrodden neighborhoods are like incapable of like doing well. This kid is a nerd, and he's a geek, and he loves 90s hip hop culture. And him and his 2 best friends, one of which is also black, and the other is Indian, they're in a punk band. So these kids are like doing all these amazing cultural things, like totally like demonstrating how we stereotype on a daily basis, like just as a society in general. And so that makes the movie cool or dope for that reason alone.
Nice.
And the kid gets involved with a girl much like many young boys, they get involved with a girl, make a stupid decision, hence being a dope. And the decision the kid makes is that he gets involved with this girl who is slightly involved with a group of drug dealers who deal dope.
Nice.
And that is why
brings it all together.
It brings it all together. And this movie covers like so many amazing things in its short, like I think it's like an hour and 45 minutes. Like it's a short runtime too. And it's short runtime. This kid experiences all these things from like someone being like shot at a restaurant. Like this nerd gets shot over like it's so funny too. Like they say it's dangerous being a nerd in East LA. Like this kid got shot and he was playing his Game Boy and he was killed as he was about to be Ganon. And it's just like, and then it just shows like the kid gets shot, and then the Game Boy falls on the ground, and there's blood on it. And like the movie is just like that the whole way through. It's amazing.
That sounds really good.
And like that's just one example of loss of innocence. But like throughout the movie, there's so many instances where these kids are experiencing these things, and it just like it's intelligent, it's funny, it is like atypical. It's just like everything that I could ask for in a movie.
Nice.
I would say this is like a bold statement for me to make right now.
Okay, bold statement.
I would say it's probably in my top 10 movies of all time right now.
Wow.
Ooh.
That's how much I like it.
Wow.
That is a bold statement.
That is.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a dope movie.
Wow. All right. Great.
So that is my loss of innocence example.
Fantastic.
Without even telling you like a ton about the movie, I managed to tell you.
It's good though, yeah, because now you make me want to watch it now.
Yeah. So
I went one to the list for sure.
Yeah. So guys, I think that was a really good topic. I'm excited. I think for everyone at home that we were able to come up with a range of stuff. Like Mike, you had a kind of a revenge thriller in there, and Chris spoke to drama, and I was able to talk to like comedy as well. So it just shows again within that theme that there's a lot of
wide
ways.
Range,
There's a lot of ways to tackle that theme in film, and I don't know. I think we covered it off pretty well. I don't know. What do you think, Chris?
I think we do. So, what did you think about our conversation here? Could you maybe give a few more examples of what you think encapsulates loss of innocence? Feel free to comment below, like and share the video, or even better, subscribe to the channel.
Until next time, I'm Tim.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Crosstalk.